I want to do a lot more.
The best things in life are free.
I try to set an example for my nephew.
Give them to the birds and bees. I want money.
Anthony got kicked out of school. I went through all that trouble, and for what?
I'm always being accused.
You gotta be good.
That's what I want.
I want to do whatever I can to help the family.
That's what I want.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you today?
I'm not too bad, thanks. Yeah.
That's good. Dickie Moltisanti is someone that everyone looks up to, but he's also got quite a ruthless side. How would you describe him?
Yeah, I mean, he has these a kind of public face, which is someone who is really well loved in the community. He's charming, attractive, seems to be totally in control and to have his life all squared away. He's got style and charisma, but privately he is a wreck. He's been beaten up by his dad as a child and watched his dad beat his mother up, and so he's really the product of abuse. And as a result, he's got a kind of hair trigger anger that he can't control, and that comes in brief but violent bursts that end up destroying everything that he loves. And he ultimately is the architect of his own destruction and is aware of it. And tragically, the person he loves most in the world is this kind of surrogate son of his, Tony Soprano, who he has grown up trying to parent somehow, but he's hopeless at it and can't seem to find the right language or the right tone or style to try and guide Tony out of a world of crime and violence himself.
Dickie's relationship with Tony is obviously really formative in Tony's later years in the series. What is it that Dickie sees in Tony? Is it just the surrogate son, or does he see a bit of himself?
I think that he recognizes that Tony is kind of abandoned by his own parents. And I think probably Johnny, his dad, probably does beat him up a bit as well. And so from that point of view, I think the loneliness of that feeling, I think he identifies with. And I think he just really likes him. He knows that he's intelligent and that he's got something kind of about him that is maybe bigger than the confines of this little community. And he, because he doesn't have a son of his own, he has some longing to kind of send this boy off into a better life. Every time he goes about trying to be a parental figure, he's just he casts about for the way to do it, and seems to come up empty-handed every time.
How did you and Michael prepare and sort of build that bond ahead of filming?
Well, we were both cast many months before we started shooting, and so we spent quite a lot of time together before we shot. And we didn't get together to talk about the script in a strictly professional way. We just got to know each other, talked about our childhood experiences, our families, what our acting experiences had been, where we'd grown up, just the normal stuff that you talk about with somebody that you're getting to know. And by the time we were actually filming, we just had a kind of ease with each other. And I really felt a kind of filial affection towards him. I think we both were facing different kinds of pressure with each of our different roles in the movie. He was taking on this iconic role that his dad played, and the strange feeling that must be for him. And then I was taking on the biggest opportunity that I've ever had as an actor in my late 40s, having worked in movies for better part of 20 some years. And so I was determined not to squander it. And so I think we both were able to bond over that feeling.
Family loyalty is obviously a huge theme in this movie, but there's also a lot of betrayal. How does Dickie reconcile with his conscience?
He starts visiting his uncle in prison, who he had not spent any time with since he was about 5 years old. And his uncle is set up as a kind of confessor for him. I see that role that Ray Liotta plays as a kind of Dr. Melfi character. And in the same way that Tony goes to Dr. Melfi to unburden himself, but ends up lying to her nonstop, that's exactly what Dickie does to Uncle Sally. He goes to confess and lies instead. But there's some feeling, I think, in the movie that Uncle Sally may or may not even be real. He could be my conscience that I'm grappling with. And I kind of see it that way, that it's a dialogue with myself on some level, trying to understand why I keep destroying the things that I love.
And Ray Liotta is like the king of gangster movies, isn't he? What was that like to work with on set?
Well, I mean, it was both an honor and also really scary, because all the people on the set that I wanted to impress the most, it was him. And a couple of weeks in, after we'd shot some scenes together, he sent me a text saying that I reminded him of himself as Henry Hill. And it was really that little message that he sent me that kind of gave me the confidence to really let rip with this role and feel that I was onto something. So I'm very grateful to him for that. My phone, the phone that he texted me on since died, and something went wrong with the cloud, and the damn text is gone now. And so, maybe I dreamt it. Maybe it never really happened.
Exactly. Just like the character, maybe it was in your head. To wrap up, what do you hope that audiences will feel when they see this film, Sopranos fans in particular?
I think that what they're going to find is a story that has a lot of the same kind of tone and particular balance of humor and philosophical interest that in a kind of anti-hero character that the Sopranos had, but in a new kind of format, which is the feature film format, which is a different kind of storytelling, and that it's filmed in a very cinematic way, and that they can appreciate that as something new.
Thank you so much for your time today, Alessandro. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.